All right. Dream journal from March 15th, 2025. So there's the one main thing I want to hit, then we'll go into some other things. So in this dream, I had three figures whom I see on the internet all the time. I'm sure you've seen them. And with context clues, you'll probably figure out who it is, that are very masculine. And the dynamics that I had with them socially was like we were friends. Now, we were in this room of extreme luxury, and I sort of at some point realized we were in a plane and we were about to fly off to paradise. And this plane was moving really fast, but it wasn't lifting off into the air quick enough. I remember rushing to the front of the plane and seeing out, like, are we going to hit anything? And sure enough, we were. And the back of the plane got ripped off by some power lines. Now, thankfully, to the right of us was the ocean. So the plane, as it was taking off, started to veer to the right. And it became a balancing game of how do we gracefully crash. Now, once we crashed, I had to give up everything. I had to swim out, and all I had was my health, which your health is the most important thing. But I lost my community in that happening. So before I move forward, I want to share what this is. So the plane, the person who was flying the plane was a woman, and this is really important because this is reflecting just some personal beliefs that I have. Now, I had this a very well heart, like the conversation was coming from a place of they were looking out for me. Now, and I'm gonna keep details out, but I had this conversation with a very important woman in my life, and this person loves me to death and does the absolute most for me, and I have the utmost respect for them. And we were having a dialogue about my current situation, and in the way that I was understanding it is they had some concerns for how I was currently living, because I'm usually working or I'm exercising or I'm eating or sleeping, and that's about all I do. And from an outsider's view, relative to the life that that outsider may live, what I'm doing may seem extreme, it may seem dull, it may seem boring, it may seem stressful, but everything that I'm doing, I genuinely love. And even if it is stressful, this is the type of stress I want to take on, because the type of stress that I experience, I believe, is beneficial. I lived a life that was very stressful prior to transitioning into this one, but it was all the wrong stress. It was stress that was not helping me in the ways that I wanted to grow. Because stress will make you grow, or it will destroy you. And I always try to make my stress grow me. Um, that being said, what I had allowed for, now I'm literally realizing it right now, um, almost all of my life is for like a woman to lead me. And now I'm going to retract some of that. I'd say subconsciously, I'm going to stay on topic here. It is my belief that if you were to if you were just let a woman be natural, right? If you took away all the wrong foods that alter consciousness in the wrong ways and destroy the physiology, the natural behavior of a woman would be extremely nurturing. They would want to take away the stress from you. They would want to just let you exist in a warm, loving environment. Because again, I believe and I've experienced women to just be extremely nurturing, um, minus the mucus and pus. If that gets in there, it can really alter behavior, and it becomes a really big shame to see that go. That being said, when you let a woman lead your life and you follow what they tell you to do, you might not do enough to achieve what you want to achieve. And I'm saying this as an extremely general thing, right? Just extremely general, because every person is different. You might have a woman who is like your quarterback and just like boom, and you guys work together with the thing. It's very much like a team in terms of you guys are both working in the field, but you can also work as a team in that you work in the field with men, and she holds the house down. She keeps order with the children. She keeps order in the home, in the palace. You build the palace with your brothers, and the women come in and decorate it and make it beautiful and make it feel like a home and bring the vibration that keeps it nice. But when it comes to steering the ship, maybe that's not where they're supposed to be. Again, I'm just sharing some of my thoughts, and I'm not saying that makes them less than, because I can't be a mother. I don't want to be a mother, and I think women do that job incredibly well. And their ability to nurture is next to none, and I love it. So I'm saying all of that because I don't want this to be taken appropriately. But it was like these gentlemen that I was hanging out with, which were just different representations for my subconscious, bringing in those friends, the mentor and my two friends that I have, into the dream. It's like if we all got too comfortable, if we didn't do the work we needed to do, we won't get this business off the ground. My job that I work at, we won't get this business off the ground, and we will be able to land semi-gracefully, but all of the stuff that we had invested into this plane, all of the luggage that we thought we were going to bring to paradise, that's not making it with us. You have to leave with your body, your health, and the education that you have within your head, and that's it, right? Here you go. So that's what that portion of the dream was teaching me, is maybe the roles should be reversed. Because I mean, that sounds like a cool job. I was having a discussion with my friend about it today, that if this is how we are thinking, then the role of the woman is to just have fun. Like, truly, if we can act as an artificial world and provide just as nature provides for us, but for the individual in terms of materials and a safe home, and of course, as a man, you have to be emotionally, psychologically put together, and just like a genuinely good energy to be around. You need to have control over your emotions and your mind. You're not going to be a dictator and just, pardon my French, but like an asshole. That's not, you're not going to take someone's independence from them, which is the importance of picking your partner very intently, right? You want someone who's just natural being, and their purpose for life and what they want to achieve in life is greatly in alignment with your will and what you want to achieve in life. And the more of those things are in alignment, the more you guys will be able to work together, right? Because you could have people that work at your job, and let's say it's a certain thing that you're all very passionate about, and in those areas your will is aligned and everything flows. But when it comes to diet, or when it comes to political beliefs, or when it comes to anything else where there is dissidence, where there is no alignment, you don't hang out with them, you don't bring up that topic. So all of that to say, right, let the woman be in that luxury room that me and the guys were hanging out in. The guys should be up front, just handling the stress, dealing with the stress, taking on the stress, and figuring out, how do we man this ship? What do we need to build? What resources do we need to build to obtain to build a life that's worth living? How do we get to paradise? And when one of us needs to take a chill pill, we're gonna go to the back. We're gonna hang out where everyone's having fun, right? Because I don't want stress in my woman's life. I don't. I would love the ability to retire every person that's helped me get to where I get to, that is of the female gender. And of the males, it's time to learn. It's time to work, because that's what we gotta do. The women do work, but their work is different. Yeah, anyway, I hope I articulated that well. Anyway, this is my journal, so if you're watching this, maybe you're the weird one invading my journal. Anyway, no, I'm joking. But yeah, so lesson there. If you're a guy, don't let the woman control your life 100%. Definitely lean into them for the nurturing aspect, for the warmth, for the care, but understand that you're the only one that truly knows everything about what you're doing, and understand their perspective, but also remember that you're the only one in this situation that you're in and doing the things that you're doing. And so, yeah, you get that. So, that being said, once everything was destroyed, I got thrown back into the realm of normies, right? Just the same energies and the same people that I wanted to get away from for years. Was back there, which is what would happen most arguably. I'd be in environments that I don't want to be in, social environments, work environments, because I lost my community, right? Because if the business blows up, then a lot goes with it. That being said, a technique that I recently learned from one of my coworkers, because we're very well-rounded people, had to deal with dreams and revisiting dreams, revisiting the same dream. Now, that's something that I don't experience, but I am able to recall certain parts of dreams I've experienced before. And it's like a change in my psychology. And this, right. Let's tell you this. So, when I was younger and I was exercising all the time, I just had this huge confidence in myself that I always carried. And every time I walked into a room, I never felt less than. Now, I didn't want to prop myself above people. Back then I was, which is why I believe I lost it and I'm regaining it now, having really worked on my emotional and mental health and how I think, to where it's more of just a like protection thing, right? It's not meant to feel greater than someone else, but just like, I'm protected. I'm very, like, I'm strong. I'm strong. I have endurance. I have all these things now. So in a dream I had a couple days ago, these two very fit people who present on the internet, and they were entered my dream, made me feel extremely uncomfortable and less than, and they took the attention of someone that I found important away from me. And that has always been something I struggle with, is like personal value. I feel less than a lot. Self-esteem issues. There we go. Self-esteem issues. And it got pretty bad over the last like 2 or 3 years, during the time I was actually away from YouTube, which I wish I did record myself more. You guys could see a lot of like what happened to me physiologically, my weight gain and all that. I'm coming out of it now. But again, my dream in this realm of normies, in an area that I was in, I had that confidence. Not that I was greater than these people, but I had confidence that, like, I was someone. I was someone, and I didn't need anyone to prove that to me, or anyone's validation to prove that to myself. And these individuals came by, again, just really stocky, beefy guys, huge, big bodies, bigger than mine, that would normally feel like their presence was so big it would demean me. But my interaction with them, I didn't feel that shame of like weakness because of them. It's like I had this conviction that was beyond strength. So the first instance that it happened, that those two people came in, took the attention of someone that I found important away from me. That was a dream that I had yesterday. That experience, contrasting this one, showed huge change in just one day. And now throughout the day, I had some interactions with some people that proved to me that I had made some really big strides in here. Not just, oh, I had the experience in the dream and I'm not feeling that lesser than feeling. Saying, no, here I am feeling, I have a better feeling of self-worth. Really, I do. And it's incredible how fast the dream work is making this happen. I used to do this practice all the time. If you go to my playlist called Dream Work, I have tons of videos about this, but I never I just stopped. My life demanded me to stop doing these things. I stopped doing these things because I was just tired. I was really tired. Became a manager. I had to wake up at 6 a.m. every day. There was no time to. I wake up at 5:15 a.m. There was no time to worry about dreams, to think about dreams. If I tried to sit down and remember my dreams, I was gonna fall asleep and miss my shift. Like, it was awful. I saw how the world will eat you up and spit you out for the sake of making money for someone else that isn't there actively getting their hands dirty to make the money. Like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. So if you're gonna take on stress, make sure it's stress you actually want to take on. Stress that's actually growing you in ways that you want to grow. Anyway, after that, my dreams got really interesting, and I might meditate on it later. But the coolest thing was that in my dreams, everyone, including myself, was able to transform their body into any animal and like any living being that we wanted to. I remember there was a little girl I was talking to, and in a tantrum, she turned into just a small pile of red spiders. And I told her, like, hey, don't do that. Get in the car. We have to go. Which is really funny to think we were still using cars despite being able to turn into a hawk that could fly, way more efficiently over roads, mountains, all that stuff. Probably turn into a dinosaur. I don't know, a dragon. Anyway, all that being said, I don't understand that portion of the dream. I know money was involved, and there was even points where I got into a battle while being a hawk, and I was killed while being a hawk, and I lost the ability to turn back into a hawk. Now, that shows me I was unconscious, because if you're really lucid in a dream, turn into a hawk. Like, you just think about it. But the dreams are becoming longer, which is nice. That shows me that I am becoming more conscious, because that's what happened before. And I am feeling more conscious throughout my day, which is a good sign that I am on track. I am on track to get as good and better than what I was doing before and really clean out my psyche. So anyway, that's my dream journal for today. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Peace.